What's going on? It's your man, Diamond K, of course. RadioOnFire.com, the all-new RadioOnFire.com. And just a weekend update. Wanted to go through a few things that are in the news. This has been a pretty eventful weekend, considering. So let's start with one of the most frustrating things. Not surprising, but frustrating. So politics can be something that is irritating to people that may not be in the middle of it. When you have something that's obvious, that's clear-cut and obvious, like Donald Trump, for instance. Donald Trump getting a second pass at this impeachment thing. And why? Is it because he's not guilty? No, that's not it. He's getting a second pass because other politicians are scared of his base. And I had this back and forth with somebody on Instagram, and they're talking about, they had to vote that way because 71 million people voted for Donald Trump, and they want those voters. Voters are not transferable. Just because some of those Republicans voted for Donald Trump doesn't mean they're going to vote for Ted Cruz, goofy ass, or Josh Hawley, or any of those other people. But they think that they're going to be able to get those voters because they did Trump a solid. No, that's not it. And my father said that the Republicans that voted to acquit Trump were scared that the mob was going to come back for them. And maybe that's true. Maybe they are scared. So then someone threw it out there that if a Democrat had done what Trump did, would the Democrats vote to acquit Trump? And I say no. The difference between Democrats and Republicans is when a Republican does something wrong, the other Republicans are going to take his side or her side no matter what. They're going to hold him down. Democrats on the other side, if a Democrat does something visibly wrong, right? If a Democrat does something visibly wrong, the other Democrats, for the most part, are going to throw them under the bus. That's just what it is. Republicans are going to support their own. Democrats are going to actually abide by what really happened, right? So Trump claims now he's coming back. Now that he's been acquitted, he's back, and we're gonna have to see how that rolls. But they're scared, and whatever, and they scared, and that's what it is. Okay, fine. We're gonna see how this goes on. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on Trump because we spent on the last 4 years way too much time on Donald Trump. So going forward, we're only going to talk about Donald Trump if we absolutely have to. If he's in court, if his wife leaves him, if somebody punches him in the face, we'll talk about it. But for the most part, I hope we don't have to talk about Donald Trump no more. So, on to some other news. Last night, going into this morning, Meek Mill and Tekashi have some type of a screaming match, and they have their phones in it. Where's my phone? They have their phones all in it. Yeah, you make me sick. Oh, you make me sick. Kick your ass. Kick your ass. You got police. You got police. All right, and so some people woke up this morning. They may not understand like what is going on between these two. So they have this back and forth, Meek Mill and Tekashi, and we're going to talk a lot about this after this. And we take a quick break. I'm going to come back with conversation about Tekashi and Meek Mill. Who will win the fight? What are they even fussing for? Right after this. Radio on Fire is a listener-supported radio and podcast network streaming from our production facilities in Baltimore and Atlanta. We're able to broadcast programs like The Diamond K Show because of our listeners and some amazing partners like The Lifestyle Secrets. Are you a baby boomer? Were you born between 1946 and 1964? Well, more than 71 million Americans are baby boomers. And as you're continuing to age, the goal is to experience as few aches and pains as possible while staying mobile. TheLifestyleSecrets.com helps you do just that by providing a blueprint to reduce and or eliminate joint pain by teaching its members to communicate naturally with their bodies. DLifestyleSecrets.com gives baby boomers step-by-step videos, natural recipes, and most importantly, the motivation to re-energize themselves naturally. Visit DLifestyleSecrets.com to join this active community of baby boomers today. And I encourage you to shop with all the companies that support Radio on Fire. Before we get back to the show, have you ever had a NutriBurst liquid vitamin? This stuff tastes great, and they say it's great for you. NutriBurst liquid vitamin. Now, my girl Moochie told me about this, and me and Moochie go way back. She said, Diamond K, you have got to try this. So I asked Moochie, what's so special about NutriBurst liquid vitamin? What makes it so good? Then she gave me the rundown. Check this out. 72 minerals, 10 vitamins, 22 phytonutrients, 19 amino acids, 13 whole vegetables, and 20 herbs. Get your NutriBurst liquid vitamin today at totallifechanges.com/mymoochie. That's totallifechanges.com/mymoochie. Tell them Radio on Fire sent you.
Giving you more talk, more news, and more music. It's Radio on Fire.
This pandemic has really sped up what was already happening. The world has become even more digital. Folks are on their computers, their tablets, their phones, all the time. This is where people go to get their information. Here at Radio on Fire, our target listener is 23 to 54 years old. So business owners, I know times are hard, but I also know how important it is to get in front of your customers. Advertise your business, product, service, or event on Diamond K in the Morning or any of the other Radio on Fire programs. We have an affordable package for you. Visit radioonfire.com/advertise to get started. Again, radioonfire.com/advertise. We'd love to connect you. Okay. All right. So we're back. You made Diamond K in here. RadioonFire.com, the all new RadioonFire.com. Shout out Mark Moore. What's going on? Shout out. How do you say your name? Williams. Last name Williams. Same last name as me. So gotta shout you out. What's up with you? Salute to you as well. So we're talking about Meek Mill. We're talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine. Last night, going into this morning, they have some type of a back and forth, different from the ones that they normally have. Normally, they're talking back and forth on social media. This time, Tekashi and Meek Mill talking back and forth. No, not on records, with their cell phones and security standing in between them. So they're seen yelling at each other as entourage members try to get between them. Both rappers accuse the other rapper of having police with them, and the whole thing is caught on social media, obviously by the rappers, by the security, by other people, all of that. So Meek says that Tekashi waited for him outside of the club. So I guess Tekashi rolled up on him, right? Y'all talking about Tekashi like he a punk and he rolled up on Meek. It wasn't like that, but kind of sort of, right? So he says he waited outside a restaurant and then popped up with the cops. We could see the guys that he was with. They didn't look like police to me. Okay. They didn't look like police to me. I ain't never seen no police officers look like those gentlemen. But anyway, he says he showed up with the cops and tried to line me up to go to jail. I didn't think that Tekashi had that much power over Meek Mill, right? I don't even like how Meek Mill is even involved with Tekashi. Meek Mill is on a whole level above Tekashi. I don't even know why he even allows himself to get the Tekashi stink on him, right? Tekashi's from Brooklyn. Meek is from Philly. We already know that. You know that Tekashi served less than 2 years for some racketeering. He cooperated. He testified during this trial involving guys linked to the 9 Trey Bloods. So he gets out after serving a little bit of time. And instead of keeping a low profile or keeping it under wraps or kind of denying the level of cooperation, Tekashi wears it like a badge of honor. And he tries to say, people did stuff to me. I did something back to them. Other people snitched or cooperated, blah, 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 blah. So this feud comes up because different folks said that, he's a rat, and Meek Mill is somebody who said that. And there are others that he's gone back and forth with. And so, when he came home, Tekashi came home, Meek calls him all kind of rats on Twitter, and they have this back and forth, right? And he said, Snoop testified, and it's Snoop and him having a back and forth. And there's other guys who testified according to Tekashi, or some type of cooperation. And Tekashi, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, goes back and forth. He drops an album. The album doesn't do what he wanted to do. Pretty much, they kind of shut him out, whether it was the digital service provider, digital service streaming networks, or whether it's other rappers, whether it's promoters, whether it's radio shows. The album didn't do what he wanted it to do. So he kind of fell back. Now he has changed up his looks. The hair's not rainbow no more. He's switching it up. And I guess he's preparing for another run. And Meek Mill and him have this back and forth. All right, so let me say this first. I like Meek Mill's music. I like Meek Mill. Sometimes I think that he gives time to stuff that I don't even think is worthy of his time. Meek is from Philly. I'm from Baltimore. Baltimore, Philly is just so similar. I mean, I understand our dirt bike culture is the same. Like, I really understand, and I really vibe with Meek. I wish that he would not get wrapped up in petty foolishness like this. I'd much rather this had been a song. I mean, it just looks crazy with them yelling and screaming back and forth and holding up their phones, and it's kind of weird. Now, Tekashi, let's go to Tekashi. Why are rappers, people in the hip hop community, black people, Spanish people, more so black people, why are they more angry? Why do they have more hatred in their heart, apparently, for Tekashi than they do somebody like George Zimmerman or the idiot that killed George Floyd, right? Some of these people, they deserve this energy. Okay, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he ratted on some folks that he was rolling with, whatever. He shouldn't have did it, or per the street code, and I get that, right? But why are we wasting all this extra energy on him? You want to run up on somebody, run up on the person that killed Trayvon Martin, right? Run up on that one. Run up on some of these other people. I mean, this rapper who snitched on some people that you don't even know, like, we give too much energy to it, right? It gives too much energy to it. To me, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the rapper who hung with some gang members who snitched on them after they did some stuff to him, and he did some stuff to them. Maybe he deserves more energy than these cops killing unarmed black people. Maybe I'm crazy, right? But I would much rather see that energy pushed towards some real villains in society. And Tekashi ain't no villain. It's just he clearly showed he's not a villain, right? He ain't even worth the time. But this long simmering beef between Meek and Tekashi, it hasn't produced any music, right? What are we really getting out of it? They ain't gonna get in the ring and fight, right? How are they benefiting from? Some likes on social media? For real? So anyway, in a parking lot, so it would have been cool if there was no security and they just had a one-on-one for about 30 seconds, right? But they are squaring off in a parking lot in Atlanta. Both rappers posting the footage, but it wasn't really no fight. Somebody didn't get snuffed. Nothing happened. It's just a whole bunch of you pussy. Yeah, they filmed each other from different vantage points, so we get all of these different angles of the video, like the Zapruder film with JFK. We get it was coming from this angle, and now it's coming from this angle, and what here's from the ground, and this is security's perspective. And in one clip, Meek is repeatedly cussing him out, trying to agitate him, and then 6ix9ine is accusing Meek of having cops with him, and you got cops to be, you trying to get me locked up. You trying to get me locked up. And just, why are we talking about jail, right? Why are we talking about jail, right? And shout out Conway. So Conway says like wrestling. I mean, wrestling is choreographed. Are you saying that this was choreographed, Conway? Are you saying that they set this up to? If they set this up, that's even worse. Like they could have even set up something to look halfway decent. You know what I mean? It's not halfway decent. That was okay. Conway says that's his friend cussing him out. Okay. Um, it was just crazy. It was a whole lot of talking and not a lot of action, right? We'd all been in late night club where some things are jumping off. It ain't that much talking, right? It ain't usually that much talking, but one clip, like I said, Meek is saying something, and I don't understand. There was something that that Meek posted, and Meek saying that we did not run into each other. I was getting in my car and he just popped out. We almost was smoking on that 6ix9ine pack for the love of a viral moment. He trying to get something locked up. No cap. Okay. I mean, okay, so on video, does it look like 6ix9ine's running up on Meek Mill? Does it look like he's running up on Meek Mill? I mean, I've had issues. When the Horseman was running, we had issues with different people, and it wasn't all this talking. It just would happen. You know what I mean? But and I've seen real tough people have situations, and it don't look like this. Okay, it don't look like this. And so I don't know. The two have been feuding, as I said, and I don't understand. But let's also keep in mind this: Tekashi is 24 years old. He's a kid. Why is Meek wasting time with this kid that nobody's paying attention to Tekashi's music, right? Meek is the one that has the successful career. It's just like he's fighting down to this level, right? So I don't know. So what did he? Okay, so Tekashi says, "Who is this? Is this? I want to apologize to my fans because you know what? It wasn't worth it. If there's a street code and something called no loyalty and snitching and all of that, I get it. But where was the loyalty when you were sleeping with my baby mother? Where was the loyalty when you were caught on wiretap trying to kill me? Where's the loyalty when you tried to kidnap my mother? Where was the loyalty when you stole millions of dollars? Blah blah blah. Of course, that is Tekashi talking. Okay, all right. So I don't know. So he is who is that? Jim? Meek says that I hope that the rat going live to apologize to the people he told on or the victim or on the victim blah 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 blah. So that's some of the stuff that they were going back and forth about. And so we'll see what else. Conway says that this felt. Conway, what does it say? Conway is saying that this shit felt like it because 6ix9ine trying to drop 2 new songs. Are you checking for Tekashi's music? Are you going to be spinning Tekashi's music on your show? Are you going to be playing Tekashi's music? Does this stunt help Tekashi 6ix9ine at all? I would say no. What else? Facts. If this was the docs, the video would have been stopped quick. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Conway is talking about a spot in Baltimore. Well, it's a former spot in Baltimore called the Paradox. Yes, if this was at the Paradox, it would have been that phone would have fell and it would have been stomping, and you know what I mean. It wouldn't have been all of that. Security would not have been able to keep that away. And these kids are dangerous. So when we talk about these kids are dangerous, you talking about Tekashi's dangerous because he's the kid. He's 24. Meek is a grown man. Okay, Meek is a grown man, and I wish that they would either fight and get it over with, or make some songs about each other, or just ignore each other. Because I don't even think they're gonna fight and get over with because both of them have some probation or parole to back up. So neither one of them can do any kind of fighting. That's not what they're doing. So we're not going to see no fight. I don't think we're going to see any music either, for the most part. So there goes that. But definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And on to some sad news. Definitely, you have rap superstar Nicki Minaj. Her father dies after being hit by a car on Long Island. So her dad died, and it is really unfortunate. He was a pedestrian, right? Real name is Robert Mirage. He was a pedestrian when an unidentified car hit him at 6:15 Friday and fled the scene, according to Nassau County Police. So this is a hit and run situation. Mirage was hospitalized following the incident, which occurred at the intersection of Rosalind Road and Raff Avenue. So the investigation into this fatal collision is being carried out. They have not released information on the driver, so we definitely want to send love and prayers and sympathy and strength to Nicki Minaj and just their entire family. She has not publicly commented on it, and I don't think that she's going to do that anytime soon. So definitely want to send our thoughts and prayers to Nicki Minaj and the entire family. A couple of other things that I want to touch on before we get out of here. So this impeachment trial that happened with Trump, right? Second impeachment trial. What's really revealing was what Black people have said for years, that the Blue Lives Matter rallying cry is a bald-faced, hypocritical lie. Blue Lives Matter. Why do I say this, right? So during the course of this trial, the House impeachment managers offered up new footage on different things that happened during the January 6th attack on the Capitol, right? On one side of the thin blue line was the Capitol and the DC police officers demonstrating some bravery. Some of them, acting loose and other things. But I want to focus on Officer Eugene Goodman, Black officer who won the admiration of the country, when we already saw a previous video of him keeping the protesters, the Trump supporters, away from the Senate chamber. And then we saw this new video of him directing Senator Mitt Romney to safety, right? But what I notice is that the Blue Lives Matter folk, they actually haven't had nothing to say since the January 6th attack even happened. Like, they quiet. Like, they ain't got nothing to say. Police officers killed and brutalized and all this kind of stuff. Usually they got stuff to say, but it comes down to it that they only have stuff to say when it is involving Black people, right? But all these agitators, all of these rioters, for the most part, were white. So they ain't had nothing to say, right? What about the Blue Lives Matter? What about Blue Lives Matter? No, Blue Lives don't matter. Blue officers were killed. Blue Lives don't matter. No, now all of a sudden it doesn't matter, because that whole thing was not true. It was not true, right? So it's very evident the profound brutality against the police at the Capitol. Many of them, like Goodman, were Black, right? Insurrectionists, most of them were white. An officer seen screaming in agony, the white officer being crushed by the mob in the doorway. You've seen that video by now. Audio of officers frantically calling for backup as the rioters advanced. Officers being beaten with the flag. I guess those blue lives don't matter, right? Because the Blue Lives Matter folks, they ain't had nothing to say. Right? All in all, 140 officers injured on that day. Republicans are so pro-police, right? So pro-Blue Lives Matter, right? But they didn't stand up. They didn't think that the beneficiary of the riot, Donald Trump, they didn't feel that the officers like Brian Sicknick that that of the Capitol Police that died, and 2 more officers that killed themselves, a death by suicide after that. If this had been a Black Lives Matter protest, the Blue Lives Matter people would have never shut up. Now it's like they on mute and they can't talk no more. If Blue Lives Matter was sincere, if its supporters would be delivering support for the officers who suffered physical and psychological trauma. All right, those officers that committed suicide, there was some psychological trauma that happened during that attack, causing them to do that. If Blue Lives Matter was a sincere rally cry, if it was a sincere organization, they would be calling out those current and former officers who participated in mob violence that claimed the lives of 3 of their peers. If they were serious, they would be honoring Officer Eugene Goodman, but none of this is happening. And you know why. You know why. For many years, many of us have been saying that Blue Lives Matter was not about protecting police officers and their families, but about protecting the right to use white violence against those who call for Black dignity and resistance to white supremacy. If we were wrong, surely the movement would be leading the charge against all of those, from former President Donald Trump on down to others responsible for putting so many blue lives in harm's way. But nothing. They ain't got nothing to say. Of course, this isn't happening. Earlier this week, Blue Lives Matter was trending on Twitter as many other commentators pointed out their hypocrisy. The Blue Lives Matter folks have been eerily quiet since January 6, 2021. Midwin Charles, who is a legal analyst, said. And you know that that's true. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Last thing I want to get into here on the all-new Radio on Fire. The Chappelle Show has returned to Netflix with Dave Chappelle's blessing. Chappelle's Show was taken down at the request of Dave Chappelle back in November. Chappelle revealed in a 18-minute video titled Unforgiven that he didn't get royalties from his hit show after he left per his contract. Chappelle told viewers that if you are streaming that show, you're fencing stolen goods. They stole that from me. They just took it. This fucking industry is a monster. Well, those words coming from Dave Chappelle, and he has uploaded another clip that he did on Thursday, where he thanked fans for boycotting the show and said that he was able to get ownership of the show back along with licensing. And Dave revealed that he was paid millions. Now it's all good. I ask that you stop watching the show, and thank God Almighty you did. You made that show worthless, because without your eyes, it is nothing. And when you stop watching it, they called me and I got my name back. I got my license back. I got my show back, and they paid me millions. So shout out to Dave Chappelle, and shout out to the fans, and for Comedy Central for getting it right, and Netflix for getting it right, and all that good stuff. I'm glad to see that has happened. As always, thank you here at Radio on Fire for your support and all that you do here. We will be doing a live streaming event in Atlanta, and we're going to be talking more about that, but that is going down this weekend. So we're going to have a lot going on. It's going to be at the Agency Restaurant and Bar in Phipps Plaza. So that is in the heart of Buckhead for folks that know Atlanta. But like I said, a lot coming up, a lot going on, and I will be back here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. for Diamond K in the morning, and I will see you guys then.